Joining us now from the Knesset is Jonathan Pollard. Shalom.
Shalom, Yoni.
So you participated in a session in the Knesset which called for Israel to resettle the Gaza Strip with Jews. And you know, Jonathan, some feel that today the consensus in Israel is not with you on this issue.
No, I actually feel that the consensus would support a return to Gaza as completely as we can. I think a lot of the polls have been mistaken, and they've been poorly worded. I've seen better polls, and they all indicate that a complete return to Gaza that's been cleared of its current Islamo-fascist population would probably be an acceptable solution as far as most Israelis are concerned.
Now, practically speaking, how do you see this happening? Many dream about returning to Gush Katif, but how do you believe it could actually happen?
I feel that we have to have a very strong prime minister that speaks very clearly, especially to the President of the United States, that what was achieved in blood will never be given up by us ever again. And I think a lot of countries do understand this. It depends on how committed we are and how forceful we are in implementing this kind of policy. When we prevaricate, when we are irresolute, when we basically allow other countries to make our minds up for us, or even to just dictate to us what our policy should be, we lose. And we'll lose more than just Gaza in this case. Gaza is a defining moment for us right now. Our repossession of our biblical land in Gaza will basically set the stage for our future. Why? Because it will show our enemies that if you fight us, we will not only defeat you decisively, but we will take back our land as well, permanently. And so I feel that the world will accommodate itself so long as we act forcefully and with resolution. So it's not such a hard thing for me to see, so long as we act accordingly.
And many may say we need Trump with us on this, and it doesn't seem that he is now.
I think the problem was he gave us an opportunity. He actually did. He gave us the weapons that had been embargoed, and he basically told Prime Minister Netanyahu, go ahead and do what you have to do. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. If it had, we wouldn't be having this discussion right now over what the future disposition of Gaza would be. Our army would have moved in, would have destroyed Hamas. The place would have been probably depopulated rather quickly, and our resettlement will, by now, have been on the road, so to speak.
Now, when you're at the Knesset and you look at the politicians, do you feel that you could convince them?
You know, I look at the people first. And I've talked to a lot of the displaced refugees, the displaced Israelis from our Gaza envelope communities. And I've asked a lot of them, when you think of the future, what do you think of Gaza? And all of them, without exception, said a Jewish Gaza. Without exception. People who, frankly, 2 years ago would never have even dreamt of saying something like that, now are firmly convinced that's the only way we can safeguard our southern communities. As far as the Knesset is concerned, look, you can talk and talk and talk all day long, and you're not going to convince some people that they're wrong. So this is why I listen to the people. I don't listen to the Chevra Knesset. I listen to the people. I go down, I talk to them. I try to feel what they went through as best I can. And when people who have lost everything, who have been traumatized, who have lost family members under atrocious circumstances that they eyewitnessed, tell me that they can't go back to their communities and rebuild the communities and their own lives without being able to be assured that that threat will never come across the border again. then okay, then that's fine as far as I'm concerned. That's my mission, is to carry out their will, the people's will, to make sure that they're safe and secure going forward. And the only way that's going to take place is if we have a Jewish Gaza, 100% Jewish Gaza. As far as President Trump is concerned, look, the man likes winners. There's no question about it. It's time we start acting like one. Rather than asking permission to be one, we should simply act like one. And this is why I firmly believe that just as America has a policy of America first, we should have a policy of Israel Rishonah, Israel first. And it starts in Gaza.
And if it happens, will you want to move to Gaza?
It depends if it's a duplex on the ocean. I grew up on an island, Yoni, in the Gulf of Mexico. Well, it's the Gulf of America now, called Galveston, and I was just maybe a minute away from the ocean. So yeah, I can see myself going back to where I started from. Sure.
Okay, Jonathan Pollard, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Yoni. Bye.